places like that, every bar you go to, you'll find that you get like buy one get free or a free shot in every single bar. So the encouragement is there, and even though you might be very drunk, you can still get served abroad. But here in the UK, I work at the Syndicate in Blackpool, and that's generally not the case, because you're not allowed to give out major drinks offers, you're not allowed to give out buy one, get two free, etc. So it's more controlled here in the UK. I just think abroad, in the Greek islands or the Spanish islands, you can drink excessive amounts until the point of you go completely over the limit, and it's knowing your amounts. That's the thing.
But the responsibility surely, Lee, lies with the individual. No one's forcing you to drink too much. The choice is always the individual's, isn't it?
Of course it is. It is the individual, but you know, as the British mentality goes, if drinks are put in front of you, then you're going to take them. And if someone's saying have a free shot in here, have a buy one get one free, you take those drinks and you're taking them, and then before you know it, you are over the limit in a state.
Professor Bellis, your speciality is public health. It just seems to be young Britons who are terribly guilty in this regard. We don't hear about young French people, Spanish people, even young Greek people behaving so badly. What do you make of that?
Well, we have a problem anyway with alcohol in young people in the UK, so even when they're at home we see bigger problems. Unfortunately, what we're sometimes doing is exporting some of those, particularly with the low-cost airlines that have been mentioned. We see many more people going away, even just for weekends, because it's cheap, there's free booze available, people can drink all day, and sometimes they're drinking far too much for their own health, and they're actually putting their health and other people's health in danger as well.
The Foreign Office has issued, I think it's been running a campaign for quite some time now to try to tell young people about the dangers. Frankly, they're not taking any notice, are they?
Well, sometimes they're fighting against a pressure in the other direction, drink promotions, people wanting already to get drunk when they go abroad, and they can sometimes start that pressure from the airport, where you can buy breakfasts with a free pint of lager, 2-for-1 deals on spirits on planes, and when you get their promotions in bars as well. It's very difficult to get that message across, and we need that honest balance so that people recognise the dangers of drinking that much, as well as what they perceive as the benefits, which are very, very few.
Lee, how much do the travel companies bear a responsibility here? If you're on a package deal, how much should the companies themselves try and educate people on holiday and explain to them the risks, and explain that if they drink too much, they could get themselves into serious trouble?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. With package holidays, I do strongly advise, especially if it's a young person, 18, who's gone on the first holiday, to do a package holiday with Club 1830 or someone else, because in that way you meet your rep at the airport, and when you get them into what's called a welcome meeting, you explain this to them, you explain to them where to go, where not to go, and the fact that we will look after you. If you go in without a package holiday, without a rep, you're just put into this world of loads of cheap drinks, buy one get one free, loads of free shots, and you've got no one to lay airs with. So if you've got a rep with you, it does help, definitely.
Professor Bellis, is that the answer? Much more supervision of young people? It sounds a bit improbable to me in the sort of heady atmosphere of being on holiday, being away from home, being away from responsibilities.
I'm afraid the experience over the past decades or so isn't that necessarily packages are going to be any better. We really need an engagement of a variety of partners, the Foreign Office, the health services in many countries, so that we get a balanced set of information. There's plenty of opportunity when people are on planes, in airports, even when they arrive in destinations, to give them the information they need about the dangers, about drinking responsibly, but that doesn't happen enough, and people think it's going to be all right, but they're in an area they don't understand the services, they're often cut off from their friends, and they all too often get themselves into trouble.
Well, Professor Bellis there in Liverpool, thank you very much indeed.
And Lee Watson, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, pleasure.
Right, the time is just coming up to 12:47. Let's have a look at the headlines.